Everyone loves a good superhero, but this video isn't about that. Today I'd like to humbly offer up a few candidates for the worst superhero ever. First on the chopping block is Skate Man, a vigilante in roller skates. Skate Man actually has a ridiculously tragic backstory. Billy Moon studied martial arts as a kid and later served in Vietnam, seeing all sorts of tragic stuff. After getting out of the army, his army buddy Jack introduced him to the wonderful world of roller derby. Unfortunately, Billy kills Jack when he hits him and one of Jack's skate wheels snaps, breaking his neck in a fall. Billy blames himself, but don't worry, the wheel was actually sabotaged by a biker named Skull who runs some sort of migrant camp drug smuggling operation that Jack found out about, so Jack's death isn't totally Billy's fault. I mean, he's still dead though, so whatever. In the wake of the murder of his best friend by this biker gang, Billy falls into depression, only to meet a young Hispanic boy named Paco, who he saves from bullies. Billy then trains Paco in both skating and martial arts, a true Renaissance man. He brings Paco home and Billy's lady friend Angel goes out to get ice cream. While she's away, Billy and Paco have a food fight that ends abruptly when Angel stumbles back in all stabbed and slashed up. She then dies in Billy's arms as a motorcyclist roars off. Billy's crazy rage builds up until he uses Paco's comic book collection as inspiration to wrap a scarf around his face and fight crime with his roller skates and nunchucks, thus becoming Skate Man. Long story short, he gets a new girlfriend, Jill, who gets kidnapped by Skull and the biker gang, so Skate Man has to use his roller derby prowess to track him down. When he finds him, he and Paco blow up their warehouse with grenades and rescue Jill. The end. Shockingly, there was ever only one volume in this comic series. Now I actually own an original copy of Skate Man. Humble brag, I know. It's definitely my most prized possession. I actually bought this at a comic book sale back in 2011 with my brother, and it is legitimately the only comic that I own. Next up is actually a team of disgrace, Section 8. Section 8 is a fictional comic book team of heroes appearing in books published by DC Comics. Created by writer Garth Ennis and artists John McCrea and Steve Dillon, the team first appeared in Hitman Volume 18 in September 1997. The team is actually named after the military designation for mentally unfit for duty. The members of Section 8 consist of Six-Pack, the team leader, whose special ability is to get ridiculously drunk and beat villains with broken-off liquor bottles. He talks in a stream of comic cliches. He thinks he's a real hero and does not seem to realize that all his superheroic encounters are just drunken dreams, and he gets upset when he's told that they're not real. Next up is Bueno Excelente, an obese, sweaty, and bald Latino in an overcoat who defeats evil with the power of perversion. Generally, the only things he says are bueno or excelente, often preceded by a creepy laugh. This dude is disgusting. He scares literally everybody, including his own team. Next up is the Defenestrator, a large, burly man in a denim jacket, black sunglasses, with black hair, who obsessively carries around a window, which he forcefully throws criminals and the occasional unlucky policeman through. His assaults on police officers actually landed him in Arkham Asylum after throwing the same policeman through a single window 14 times. He would grab him, bring him back in the house, and throw him out the window over and over again. His appearance, name, and death are actually direct parodies of Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Then there's Dog Welder, a thin, silent man in a welder's mask who spot welds dead dogs to evildoers. Enough said. There's also Friendly Fire, who is the closest to a real superhero. Friendly Fire would easily be the most powerful of Section 8's heroes if he were actually able to shoot anything other than his own allies. He shoots potent bolts of energy from his hands, but he's physically incapable of hitting anyone that he wants to aim at. He is the most defeatist member of the team and actually realizes how pathetic they all are. There is Jean de Baton, who is a bizarrely gaunt French caricature and defeats enemies with the power of Frenchness, as expressed by savage beatings with a baguette and occasionally blinding them with rings of garlic and onions. Following him is Flemgem, a sickly, thin, bald man in a green suit with a purple domino mask who has the ability to produce and expel large volumes of phlegm, which can blind, suffocate, or simply disgust evildoers. And lastly, there is Shakes, a thin, hairy vagrant who has Parkinson's and Tourette's. The team's most heroic actions are in their last appearance, where the team was starting to split up again after Friendly Fire pointed out how pathetic they all were and that they did nothing but meet once a month to achieve nothing. Six-Pack is left distraught when Friendly Fire points out that, most of his superhero missions are indeed just drunken dreams. However, when demonic multi-angle ones are released in Gotham, Section 8 rallied to fight them. Their attempt was completely unsuccessful. Most of the team die immediately or accidentally kill themselves. Flemgem gets laser beamed, Jean de Baton gets his own baguette jammed down his throat, Dog Welder gets laser beamed as well, Friendly Fire blew his own head off when trying his best to shoot the right target, the Defenestrator dies like the Terminator, and Shakes dies trying to take out the many-angled ones when he grabs a grenade and runs to a gas station. The fires from this gas station burn everyone up except for Six-Pack, who is for some reason left unharmed. The many-angled ones become interested in him when they see that he is unarmed, and he tells them that he is willing to die standing against them because, quote, that's what superheroes do. The demons are left amused, and a deal is made where Six-Pack will leave with them and try to battle against them for his own soul, in exchange for leaving Earth alone. Honestly, it's a pretty touching moment in the middle of literal trash. In honor of his sacrifice, Six-Pack has a statue built in the park, though he is shown still alive and sane in New York City at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, implying that the battle for his soul is actually facing his alcohol addiction. Bueno Excelente also survives the battle and avenges their loss on the scientists responsible for releasing the many-angled ones, and there's a note on the paper about it, and it is exactly what you'd expect it to be. There is a second series called All-Star Section 8 that picks up shortly after this series. Following Six-Pack's accidental return to alcoholism, he assembles a new Section 8 to combat a mysterious and possibly imagined threat. Six-Pack convinces Bueno Excelente to re-enlist, brings in 5 new members, and attempts to fill the vacant 8th position with someone from the Justice League. The new members are Bator, the Demon Lord of Criminal Insanity and caretaker of Noonan's Bar, Dog Welder 2, who bought the previous Dog Welder's gear at a pawn shop, the Grappler, a man with grappling hooks and guns who is regarded as an annoying tool who won't shut a stupid mouth, Power Tool, a rational construction-themed vigilante with a drill in his helmet, and Guts, an ambulatory and female mass of internal organs arranged in a vaguely humanoid shape. I'll leave you to read that series for yourself. Which one of these heroes is your new favorite? Skate Man? Someone from Section 8? None of them? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't be a dumb fork, be a smart spoon.